Oh, awesome. Awesome. Thank you. I don't know what's going on. I think I have to do a restart, but nonetheless, we're here. Let's get ready to go, you guys. It is Monday, October 2nd, 8:35, coming to you full of energy, coming to you super excited, and coming to you full of gratitude. And here's what I'm grateful for this morning. As a parent, if for all the parents on the call today, please just raise your hand or give me an emoji if you have the advantage of the blessing of being a parent. All right. So I have a son that is just started in kindergarten. It's his first year in kindergarten. So obviously as a parent, you want a helicopter, you want to protect, you want to make sure that he's set up for the world. And so you do all that you possibly can. But when you send him off to school for 8 hours, 6 hours, how many hours, you just don't know. You just don't know. And so I'm always concerned with like interpersonally, how's he communicating? Or does he have friends? You know, is he being nice to everyone? Is he being kind? Is he being a leader? Is he listening? Like all these things I'm thinking about as a dad, because my son's never been to kindergarten. So obviously, if you're a parent, you've probably been through some of these emotions. Well, yesterday we're at the park. We do our afternoon little park visit with me, Silas, and Amanda. And this little girl walks by. And she said, Silas? He said, Coral? And like they went running to each other and they hugged. And she had 3 other little sisters there. Her mom was there. She's like, oh my God, Coral talks about your son all the time. And they're the bestest of friends. And like the whole time they just played. And like Amanda got a little teary eyed. And she's like, it was so cute to see our son interpersonally having like great communication skills, building friendships. And then he saw her this morning and it was just really, really cool. So if I was going to share something I'm grateful for this morning, it would be that moment and seeing my son like just being super, super cute with Coral and you know, his personality and how he's building relationships. That's one of my biggest worries as a dad. So thought I would share that with you guys to put everybody in state before we get started. So we've got a lot of smiling, beautiful faces on this call today. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to go over to Kyle. Kyle, big dog. I'm going to have you bring us out on the field. And you know the sentiment, my man. If you're into sports, if you're into fitness, if you're into just leading like you are, bring the team out on the field. And I'd like to send a special hello to Maria Tovar. I don't know who that is, but Miss Maria Tovar, I think that is you, Samandi. Hello. All right, Kyle.
My bad.
It's all good. I'm just messing with you. All right, Kyle, let's hear it, bro. Hit us with it. Let's bring the team out on the field today on this beautiful morning.
All right, cool. I think it's fair to say that we all want to show up better in our lives. We want to show up better in our home life, our work life, our relationship life, anywhere in our life. Showing up better starts with becoming the best version of ourselves. Becoming the best version of ourselves starts with getting physically, mentally, emotionally dialed in. Getting dialed in starts with our health, our fitness, and our mindset. And that is activated with the 3 M's, muscles, macros, and mindset. We need to work out and move our body every day. We need to learn what foods we need to take into our body to fuel our body and mind. And we need to consciously pour in positive material to better our mind, turning off the TV, turning off the radio, listening to a podcast, reading a self-development book. Dialing in these 3 M's every day as like non-negotiables are going to take you on a path towards a 2.0 version of ourselves. And then we can show up better for our clients, our family, our relationships.
And our children.
And our children.
That's right. Hey, Kyle, say the M's again. What was the first M?
Muscles, macros, and mindset. Macros meaning like your nutrition intake. Muscles meaning move your body every day. Mindset meaning pour in positive energy, positive material into your mind every day.
Wow. I love that. I love that. I appreciate that, my man. Thank you for being on. I know you have baby boy, but I appreciate that. So you guys write that down, the 3 M's. I really love that. I'm actually fasting right now. I do this once a quarter, but more importantly, I'm going to Bali in 2 weeks. And so I want to make sure that I fast before I go so I can eat because I'm not going to be working out as much. But anyways, I love this message. You guys, let's go ahead and get started. Got some thoughts that I want to share with you guys. It's obviously Q4, and this is a very important time. I love that it is the start of the new quarter, and we're doing our first group coaching call of Q4. You have to ask yourself right now, we've talked about it for the last few weeks. Are you clear? Do you have absolute clarity on what's going to happen in the next 3 months of your business? Are you clear on how many days that you're actually going to be working from now until the end of the year? Do you have a plan? Do you know what you're going to do? Do you know how you're going to show up? Do you know what you're going to post? Do you have a sense of where you're going for this quarter. And if you don't, then get your shit together, write out a plan, share it with me if you need some help, if you need to refine that. But you guys, this is the last quarter of the year. I've seen people in the last quarter of the year make 100 G's. So you guys have to set yourself up for success, plan that out, write out your whole entire plan, you guys, and make sure that you have clarity. There should be none of this, I'm trying to figure stuff out. Right? There should be none of this. We are at the fourth quarter. This is the full tilt, full court press for the end of the year, you guys. And if you have not set up your quarter four goals, then we need to connect. Call me, send me a message on Slack, get on my calendar, but let's make sure that you have absolute clarity from now until the end of the year. So you guys, I joined this 5 a.m. mastermind this morning, which call me crazy, but I'm always up at 5 a.m., but I'm usually just having coffee, water, watching a little bit of news and get my mind right in the morning. But I joined this 5 o'clock phone call and it was 7 minutes. I was like, cool, I can handle 7 minutes at 5 a.m. And the one thing that he had said that I thought that was really, really important, and this goes for everybody, because there's some people on the call that are going to do 50 deals this year, next year, 30 deals, 20 deals, and everywhere in between. And the message of the morning was be where your feet are. And let me elaborate on this and what this actually meant. Be where your feet are. Well, I thought that why this was powerful is because so much of our time is spent thinking about our business. And I get that, you guys, we're all entrepreneurs here, but be where your feet are, meaning the moments when you're at the park, when you're with your lady, when you're on date night, when you're with your family, when you're having your early morning sessions with the family, when you're taking your walks, like be where your feet are. It is so easy for us to be distracted by so many other things. And listen, if you have a business that cannot wait for you to spend 30 times an hour of your time with your family at the park when you're swinging your son on the swing, then you don't have a healthy business. I'm just going to be real with you. It's okay to allow your phone to ring, go to voicemail, and hit them back as soon as you're done with that. Be planted. Don't be distracted by all the other things. Your business will be there if your business is set up properly, and allow yourself to be present in the moments, right? I think that's super, super important because your kids and the people that you love they're going to be the ones that remember the times where you weren't present, right? You might not remember it because you're so much in the moment, but our kids are going to look back and be like, Mommy, Daddy, like you were just always working. You weren't there. You weren't present, right? If I was at Kai's cheer and I was rooting for her, but every time she looked up, I'm on my phone or I'm on a call and I'm in negotiations, I promise you, she would remember that. Because every time she fucks up on her routine, she looks up at the stands and she catches her eyes with me. Whether it's a dad thing, whether it's she doesn't want to let me down, whether she knows that I know that she could do better, every single time she locks eyes with me. So the point of this is be where your feet are. I thought it was a really, really powerful message because by a show of hands, let's just be real. How many of us can get distracted from the moment, whether it's with our kids, on a date, the phone rings, check an email, oh my God, comps, they want to see disclosures, they want to go see this house. How many of us actually have that happen? And I appreciate you raising your hand. And if you're not raising your hand, raise your hand because this applies to everybody. The point is to start the sentiment out this morning with saying, be exactly where your feet are. Have you guys ever seen me take a phone call? Have you guys ever seen me get out of this moment? We're here 3 hours a week together. And I promise you, you will never see me unless I drink too much water and I sometimes have to leave and use the restroom. Hey, that's on me. I drink a lot of water, but I promise you, I'm exactly where I need to be in that moment for that time. And it's all about being present. So I want to share that sentiment with you guys. Make sure that you guys are conscious of this. Our kids and our family and our ladies and our men, they will all remember those times. I know that we're in grind time. I know that we're building an empire. I get that and I respect that and I want that for you. But more importantly, if you were to take your business away, I believe if you have a very well-rounded life, you'd still be a happy person, right? Some of the richest people on earth are the fucking most miserable pricks. And some of the brokest people in the world are some of the happiest people in the world. Why? Because they find happiness in the love and the relationships and the time spent with the people that they care most about. So that's what I want to share with you guys today. Can you have both? Absolutely. But I just want to encourage everybody to be present. I had a friend tell me the other day that their son says that they're always on the phone and they just wanted them to play with them. That's a harsh reality sometimes. So I want to share that thoughts with you guys. Anybody want to share any thoughts or sentiment on that message before we get rolling? Anybody? There's a lot of moms, a lot of dads on the call. I know mom guilt's a real thing. Dad guilt's a real thing. Samantha, let's go. What's your thoughts, sentiment? Let's hear from you, and then we'll continue the conversation.
I had to learn how to time block after 7 p.m. because my kids actually started noticing. They're like, Mom, we leave to school and you're working already. We come back from school and you're working. And I also had to take into consideration their homework time and spending time. They want me to listen to them and what they did in school and everything. And hearing each story is like 15, 20 minutes because I have 2 kids. So by learning that, I'm actually those little 2 hours before bed means a lot to them. To now this week, I'm like, you know what? I set up my whole week this weekend so I can be with them from starting at 6. So I'm increasing it like a little bit lower on time since I am motivated to wake up at 5. Today I woke up at 3 and I stayed up. So amen to that, you know? And just right there, like kids do notice. Okay, kids do feel that. And he, like my son told me yesterday, that's why I think I love dad more, because he spends more time with me. And I'm like, ouch, you know? So that right there, I realized like, okay, so like this weekend we're going to Six Flags. Next weekend we're traveling because they'll be on fall break. But yeah, definitely time block your time for your kids because they will definitely notice.
God, I love that. And so I knew this message would hit because it hit for me, and we're all emotional creatures. Well, some of us more so than others, but be where your feet are. My phone died the other day and I was with the kids and my phone died. And all I could stress about is like, oh my God, my phone died. What if I can't capture something for Instagram? What if, like that? Literally, that's where my mind was going, rather thinking like, oh, this is kind of dope. Right? I have no pressure other than just spending time with the people that I love, and every single distraction is gone. But yet I felt anxiety that my phone had died. I felt anxiety. So, Sammy, I appreciate that sentiment. And kids say the darndest things, but at the time, like sometimes kids just don't have any filter. They just say what they feel. And I think that it's really, really powerful to be like, you know what, I got to listen. I got to understand, because there is nothing rewarding about being an aholic of anything. A workaholic, a sexaholic, a freaking alcoholic, addicted to, there's nothing. Yo, whoever that is, can you mute yourself? Okay, thank you. I'll let my host handle all of the muting, but thank you. Let's go to Blessing. Let's go Kyle. We'll go Ophelia, and we're going to continue the conversation and shift gears. So let's go Blessing. What's your thoughts, contributions on the conversation thus far?
Being present it's such a gift that we give our kids. And my child, he's very reserved. So he's not likely to tell me when things bother him, just because he sees how much I'm working. He sees how much I carry. So he's not really going to say, Mom, get off your phone, because he knows. But what I started noticing is that on the way to school, I would always get 1 or 2 obscenity leads that would come in, and I would reach for it mid-conversation. And I was aware of the fact that he would stop. And if I'm not paying attention, I won't go back to that story and I miss something. So now what I've started doing is, as soon as we get in the car, I give him my phone to snooze me for our ride home. So he knows, okay, I'm here with you. And then when I'm sitting and talking, if my phone starts to go off, I'll stop and I'll flip my phone over, like to putting it down so that it's not there, and make eye contact. And it's just one of those things where I can't put aside hours at a time, to be with him sometimes, but in those like 10, 15 minutes that we have together, eye contact, being present makes the world of difference, not only for him, but for me. Now I can process all of the stories, and he quizzes me on Pokemon. And when I get it wrong, it's a bad day in our house. So just those quick little moments to be present is just huge for what it does for them, but also what it just forces us to slow down and do is amazing too. So being present is just something I truly appreciate.
I absolutely love that, Blessing. So we have it's a practice that I've been putting into practice for a few months now. So when Makayla comes home, she's 12, she's a little bit more reserved. So instead of just asking her, how was her day? Most kids will say, what? Good. right? Some of the more expressive kids will probably tell you a little bit, but for most kids, they'll say, good. So I, just like I would if I was talking to somebody and developing a relationship in business, so tell me a little bit more. What about your day was so good? And then she starts talking about all the things that made her day good. Or if I ask her a question and she says, I don't know is not allowed in our house. So I say, well, what do you mean you don't know? Tell me what you think, how you can find that answer. So she'll go a little bit further, but it allows me to like connect with her and actually have deeper conversations. So Blessing, I love putting the phone down, putting on snooze. That's a really, really important habit. So let's go Ophelia and let's go Kyle next. So Ophelia, I know you're driving. If your audio cuts out, I'm going to have the host tell you to cut your camera. Oh,
Sounds
and then
good. So something I learned at one of the mommy events that Melody had hosted was that one of the guests said that she had already predetermined or stated out text messages. So my thing is the phone. So if I'm on the phone, if I'm with the kids and something happens, I always go for it, right? Who texted me? Who called me? But if automatically you just say, hey, I'm not available right now, I'll call you in about 30 minutes or 45 minutes, or is there something that can wait? Please text me, let me know. Kind of eases me a little bit that I did something about it though. Like I didn't just ignore the phone call, and I'm able to get back and be present with the kids, because it is hard. It is hard. You're wondering, like your phone, when it died, you're just like, oh my God, you can't really disconnect, because you're wondering, okay, what could be going on right now? What could be said, or how do I control this? Or I don't know. At least I'm always trying to think one step ahead, but it does rob you from being present. And then aside from that, when my kids get in the car, yes, yeah, how was your day? Good. I usually ask, it worked a lot when they were younger. It's like, hey, what made you smile today? What made you smile today? And then they'll go off into something else. They'll tell me what made them smile.
man, I absolutely love this. Absolutely love this. Let's go to Kyle, then we'll go to Ashley. Kyle, baby boy. I don't think I've seen baby boy before. He is so handsome. Thanks for having him on this morning. He's going to put a smile on all our faces. So Kyle, let's go to you. Then we'll go to Ashley. What's up?
Yeah. I was just going to add, it's easy to put all of our appointments on calendars, all of our meetings, all of our Zoom calls, all of our showings, all of our tours. But it's also important to have family time dedicated on the calendar too. For some people, it's on the calendar. It's not going to happen. So if it's on the calendar, it's blocked in, it's there. And then that's a time where you can, put that phone on do not disturb and allocate that time for them.
Yes, yes. So I'm getting some good book recommendations in the chat down below. There's a book, I think someone put it in there, I think Joellen, The Power of Now. Read that book. And then there's another book, it's called Stillness Speaks. I think they're both written by Eckhart Tolle. These are two powerful books. And listen, the reading is really, really, this is probably, I don't know, a Saturday and Sunday read, but it's really powerful to go back and reference it. So let's go Ashley. And then I think I saw another hand up and I want to shift the gears in the conversation. Let's go, Ashley.
Hey, good morning. So I'm definitely guilty of this, and I just have the mom guilt, and my daughter will come up to me, Mommy, can you play with me? And I'm right in the middle of something work related. And so what I've been trying to do is do the scheduling. And so last week I scheduled baking bread. I don't bake bread normally, but I was like, let me bake bread with my kid. I think that's something that I could do with my daughter that we both enjoyed. My hands are like tied in the dough. Nobody can interrupt me. And then I scheduled taking my son to breakfast, and we did that. And then this week we're going to bake brownies. But what really hit me is we do something at our dinner table. It's called What's Your Favorite Part of the Day? And we've done it for years. And we did it on Friday, and my son, my 6-year-old, said, my favorite part of my day, and he had done a bunch of stuff, my favorite part of my day was spending time with Mama this morning. And I was like, wow, we're at the end of the day. It's 7 o'clock. And he's remembering the first couple hours of us being out, and we had pancakes. And so it wasn't the pancakes, the Mickey Mouse pancakes. It was spending time with Mama. And then I'm reading Grit, and it's talking about Jeff Bezos's mom and how she said he would just come home with all of these ideas. And she was sitting with her friend, and her friend was like, do you understand anything he's saying? And she said, it's not important that I understand what he's saying. It's important that I'm listening. And that really caught me too. And so I am not perfect at this. I'm work in progress, but it's definitely good to be mindful to keep my phone down and be present in those moments.
God, I absolutely love that. You know, being a mama's boy, I'm 43 years old. My mom knows about my business firsthand, and she doesn't understand everything that I do from the leadership side, from the coaching side, but she is so supportive. Like my mom is like my biggest advocate. Still to this day, it means something to me. And so, Heidi, I'll come back to you in just a moment, but you guys, I wanted to talk to you. Obviously, I appreciate you chiming in on this conversation. I never know who's going to chime in, but I'm always grateful for your contributions. But I want to shift the gears and talk to you guys about where we're at and where we're going in the next couple of weeks. Now, obviously, it's the fall season. There's tons of things for you to be talking to your clients about, but here's what I don't want you to do. And if you do it, then it's on you. It's your business. You know, I can't control that. I want you to be super, super genuine in your outreach this year. Doing a templated piece about a fucking pumpkin latte is not marketing. Okay, I'm just being real. If you're on this call, you know what is real marketing, sharing why you think or don't think a pumpkin latte is actually good and why this craze of billion-dollar industry has just blown up over the last decade, right? That's a cool video, but sending or putting on your social a pumpkin spice recipe, I think it's so old school. I think that it's so generic. I'm not saying it just for the pumpkin spice latte, but I want you guys to really think about fall season right now. Like, what is going on in your cities? I was having I was having a coaching call with Jessica Hernandez last week, and she's like, I want to be known as the Richmond Realtor. I'm like, okay, cool. So looking on your Instagram, I don't see that you are the Richmond Realtor. I said, what's going on in your city, right? Like what's happening in your city? If you go to the city website, what are the activities for fall? Where are the places to go? Where to see the fall leaves? You know, where is the haunted houses? Where's the spooky neighborhoods? Where's the best places to trick or treat? What are some safety tips for trick or treaters this year? What are the best costumes? What's trending right now? What are some funny costume ideas? Like, you guys could go on and on about this, but I want you guys to ask yourself, like, what are the reasons to reach out to people, and not in a very, very generic way? Like, what are the actual things that are happening in the fall right now in your communities that you could talk about that gets people out? For example, we live in River Islands. Del Oso just opened after 2 years of being closed. And if you've ever been to Del Oso Farms, please raise your hand. It's a pretty big deal. I've never even been there, and I live right here because I don't believe in the commercialness of it. Plus, it's a lot of money in it, and I don't need to go there. But anyways, the place was packed over the weekend, packed. So helping people understand like what is going on in your local areas. I think that's how you do proper marketing for the fall time. Like, where's the best place if you're a photographer to go and take pictures of the fall season? So I want you guys right now to just throw up your hand. We'll do a rapid fire session. If you were to create some content, do some marketing, make an email or send an email blast, or create some videos about what's going on in your area, put us on game. Share with me. Allow this to be the stage for you to share what your marketing campaign is, what your ideas are. That way we can all learn from each other. So what's going on in your areas? And I'll tell you this, if you're in the Stockton, Modesto, Tracy, or Lathrop area, the best place to take your kids to go trick-or-treating is right here in River Islands. Right here in River Islands, the highly concentrated, high density amount of homes that have the best candy, the most spirited blocks. It is absolutely incredible. I would highly recommend that you take your kids out here and then maybe put some time aside on your schedule, take them out to Del Oso and let them have that fun. But I want to know, since we're in the fall season, right? What's happening in your communities? What's going on? Where's the pumpkin patches? Where's the spooky hotels? Where's all that shit that you guys are going to be talking about on social, in your newsletter, in your emails, when you're reaching out? What's going on to give you an opportunity to just have more touch points with consumers? Who wants to go, you guys? Share with me what's going on in your communities. And if nobody raises their hand, I'm just going to call on some people. Jess, Vernon, Sammy, let's go. Jess, Bling, let's hit them.
What's up, y'all? Good morning. Can you hear me okay?
Loud and clear.
There's a hella shit happening in the Tri-Cities area. Ardenwood Farms has pumpkin patch over at Fremont Hub. There are like Halloween slides and pumpkins you can get there. There's also a ghost house. There's a couple of restaurants that are doing Halloween inspired, like trunk or treat type things, all of which, thank you, will be going out in my newsletter.
Perfect, perfect. Because here's the thing, you guys, is that people want to know, obviously, about what's going on in the market, but more importantly, they want to know the human side of you. They want to know what you're doing, where you're going, what's happening in their community, because the people that bring community together at the highest level will be the people that always win in any market, no matter what. Because you have to remove yourself from just an identity of real estate and be like, wow, like, this is cool. Here's a video for you if you're going to go to Del Oso. You want to know how to drop $300 in less than 3 hours? Let's go, and let's go to Del Oso Farms and track all the things that you're fucking spending. Because I promise you, if I take my kids out to Del Oso Farms, money is gone in an instant, right? Other family members probably want to know that. Or, hey, here's a hack to save the most money if you're taking your kids to Del Oso Farms. Come with me. Right? Here's the coupons you can find. Here's the 2-for-1s. Here's this, here's that. Go at this time, beat the lines, beat that. Those are things that people want to hear. Jess, was that a new hand or an old hand? Because it went back up.
It's old.
Okay, let's lower that hand. Vernon, Sammy, Damian, let's go. Vernon, you're up first, brother.
Good morning, team. If any of you guys are in the Solano County area or...
Can I pause you for a quick second before you get into this?
Sure.
Okay, so Vernon, how old are you?
48.
Vernon's abs look like an 18-year-old fucking athlete. Okay, oh, wow, look at the girls on the call. Oh my God. All right, so ladies, I just want to let you know your cameras are on.
Oh my God.
I saw one of these, Vernon. No, here's the point. So Vernon's abs look like an 18-year-old athlete. Now, this doesn't happen, just by genetics. It just doesn't happen by chance. This is by design. This is what he works on. This is what he focuses on. So I would love for you one day, maybe on Friday, on Action Fridays, you'd kind of take us through like a workout routine and like a diet routine, because I think we could all learn something from you. I had a question for you. When I fast, say I fast, I'm doing an 8-16, right? I fast for 16, I eat for 8. What is the benefit? Because you said before you eat a meal of eating fruit. Just answer that question for me selfishly, and then tell us about what's going on in Solano County. But let's go, because I think how many people are here for this conversation? Because I don't know if you saw his abs the other day. All right, let's go, Vernon. Hey, man, I got to call it how it is, bro. Let's go.
You are definitely a ball buster, right? So thank you for that. So the benefit of eating fruit before you eat any meal is it's nature's true water. Most of us know H2O, but that's not nature's true water. H3O is actually nature's true water, and you can gain that from the consumption of fruits, berries, melons, and so on and so forth. So when you wake up, your body is in this state of rest. It's like you putting your phone on a charger when you're asleep. So when you wake up, the first thing that you want to put in your body is H3O, right? Before you do anything else, hydrate yourself, hydrate your organs. It just creates this, I don't want to call it a rush, but it's a natural infusion of elements that your body is actually made of. So the first thing I do when I wake up at 5 in the morning every morning is I drink hella water. I consume hella fruit, which is natural H3O, take a little creatine, and I'm in the gym by 5:45, 6 a.m. every morning. So that's what that's about, Coach.
Awesome. Yeah, I want to know more about it. Maybe on Friday you could kind of lay out what your fitness routine is, because I don't know, like I'd log in for that series. I'm just saying. But let's talk about activities, fall season, what's going to go into your marketing for the month of October. Let's go.
If you guys live in Solano County, or even if you don't, Halloween in Vallejo, in a certain section of Vallejo, is lit as shit. Okay, I'm talking 8 square blocks. Every home is overly decorated. You've got adult drinks being served by the neighbors. You got 2,000-3,000 kids out in the middle of the street.
Oh, did we lose Vernon? Did I lose Vernon, or did everyone lose Vernon?
I lost them too.
Vernon, we lost you, bro. We have no audio for you anymore.
No audio for me. Can you hear me
There we
now?
go. We're back. We're back. Yes, sir.
Okay. I don't know what the last part that you heard, but there's
3,000.
Adult drinks.
ah, I see I went in and out at different sections of what I was saying. So state streets between off of Tennessee, between Tuolumne and the 80 on ramp is super cracking. It's every year. Neighbors actually know if you buy property in this neighborhood, or even if you rent in this neighborhood, you will participate in the Halloween festivities. We've got kids and families that come from all over Solano County. It's literally about 2,000-3,000 people out there on that Halloween night, right? So you've got neighbors serving adult drinks, popcorn, music is pumping. Every home is overly decorated. I'm seeing floats that are 100 feet high. Now, my kids are beyond the trick or treat age, but I'm out there for the festivities just because it's hella fun, right? So that's definitely going in my social media this month. It's going to be in my newsletter because it is super cracking.
All right. So here's the thing. So I'm going to make sure you'll get this transcription. Everything that you just said will be in the transcription, bro. Create that video. That's something I would tune in. You know, why Vallejo is the place to go for Halloween. Like, you'll have everything that you just said, so you don't miss any of those key points, bro. I'm excited for that. That's something I would watch. That was something that I would look at in my newsletter. I would talk about it in my newsletter, and then I would have that video and I would redirect them to that video as well. Read this, click here to watch, and then it's more engagement. That's fun. That's fun, right? And it was for you, for your city, in your own voice. I think that's a really, really powerful message. So wonderful. Good stuff, Vernon. Damian, let's go for you, bro. Marketing, what's going to happen? How are you going to reach out to consumers in the month of October? Let's go.
Good morning. Good morning. In the city of Richmond, they're doing a floating pumpkin patch at the Richmond Plunge. I have no idea how that works. Like, do you jump in the pool and get a pumpkin? But I don't know. It sounded really cool. So I want to check that out. And then in Richmond as well, like down the way from the Richmond Plunge at the backyard, they have a pumpkin patch. And that's like a drinking situation. It's a brewery and a restaurant. And yeah, it's a pumpkin patch there. So the kids can enjoy it, but the adults can too. And then in Alameda, we take our kids every year to like the Broadway area in Alameda. It's always crazy out there. I mean, it's hundreds of people, kids everywhere trick-or-treating in Alameda, and these houses are huge, and these people get up for it every year. So yeah, those three things for sure. And then on top of that, you know, October 17th, Alameda County Community Food Bank volunteering every month. This is month number 10, right? 10. Yeah. So
I love it. I love it. Hey, man, and your new headshots turn out really good. But let's just talk about marketing from like the rawest form of marketing. When Damian said floating Halloween, or when he said the floats on the water, how many of you instantly thought like, wait, how does that work? Right? I thought about it. I'm like, are you in the water? Are the floats on the, where is that happening? That instantly, that's where my head went. That's where most people's thoughts go to me. And when you say something like that, that means that marketing is sparking curiosity, and that's how you get engagement. That's how you get engagement. I love that.
And yesterday as well, me and MacArthur Mays, we performed at Oktoberfest, which I knew nothing about until this year. But it was like this huge street festival in the Diamond District out here in Oakland. And I mean, beer everywhere, like Oktoberfest. And I bought a michelada with ceviche on top. And it was the crate, but I put that on my story. Next year I'll be prepared to do more content on that. But I mean, it was a dope event. It was a lot of people out there. So it's things happening, to your point. Work until it works. Get out there and show the people what's going on.
That's right. That's right. The michelada with the shrimp over the side with the tahini, like that. That's the shit. That used to be my drink back in the days. I still order micheladas with no beer though. They just put soda water in it, but absolutely love that to me. And let's go. I think Nicole was up and then we'll go over to Dominique. Nicole, what's good? What's happening? Tell us a little bit about marketing plans for the month of October. Rapid fire. Let's hear from you.
Okay, so Oakland Police Department is doing a trunk or treat. I participated last year. I had no idea there were like 500 kids out there. So I'm gonna be more prepared with my trunk this year. Last year I just took candy, but I want to take like, coloring books and things like that this year for the kids and be ready now that I know what to expect.
Love it. I absolutely love it. Yeah, that's a lot of candy. And it leads me to this. I saw a marketing campaign, I think it was 2 years ago. If you went to Costco right now and you bought 4 pounds of mixed candy, how much would that cost you? Does anybody have an idea of like 4 pounds, let's say 4 or 5 pounds, how much would that roughly cost you if you were to go to Costco right now and buy those big old bags of candy, chocolate, the mix, suckers? Give me some thoughts. Put it in the chat down below. What do you think that would run you? $20? Okay, cool. Cool. Anybody else have a thought? All right, cool. If a lead came in for a $800,000 home, what would that lead be worth to you? Anybody, take yourself off of mute. If you're not going to put it in the chat, take yourself off of mute. Just go ahead. I don't need hands up. Just take yourself.
15, 20.
What's that?
15, 20.
15, okay. 500. All right, here's the point. So I saw an ad campaign or marketing approach during the Halloween season, and it said, enter to win 3 pounds of Halloween candy for all the trick-or-treaters that are going to come to your house. We're doing a raffle for the community. We're entering to win for this. Hit this QR code, tag someone on this video. And what happens is that you create tons and tons and tons of engagement. And then what do? You go live on Instagram and announce the winner of the 5 pounds of candy for that person. And then you video yourself delivering that candy to that person. Now, not everyone's going to win, but everyone opted in for this opportunity. So now that they've opted in, guess what? You now have tons of more emails, tons of more engagement, tons of people liking you, liking what you're doing, tagging people on your Instagram. You'll get more follows naturally because they want to know when they're going to win that. People love free stuff. And listen, I've ran out of candy before, and then you just got to turn off your front porch light or give away cans of beans. It's not what the kids want. You want to make sure like you have them set up. 5 pounds of candy that you spent 40, 50 bucks on. I promise you, if you did that properly, you did that in a mailer to your farm, people would engage with you. And I promise you, you would get at least one qualified lead from that campaign. I'm saying that you could probably get a lot more. I'm going to promise you one. For me, spending 50 bucks to get one lead, it's all worth it for me. It's all worth it for me. So food for thought, you guys, as we're entering this time of the year, let's go to let's go to Dominique. Let's hear from you.
What I did this year to help make my marketing easier for all the events that are going on for October, November, December is I signed up for local areas where they have a lot of events. So one of those are the Alameda County Fairgrounds. And they have all month they have something going on. So they have like the Big Bounce House going on. They have the Diwali Festival of Lights going on. They have the walkthrough Haunted Mansion this month as well. And so on Canva, I'm in the middle of creating the newsletter, but then so along with the newsletter, I'm sending it by mail, and I'm also door knocking. But then when it gets to those specific events, I'm also going to revisit that with just specifically a letter about that. So there's going to be a newsletter with everything. And then for the week or like a week and a half prior, it'll be sent out talking about that one event for that weekend coming up. And they have a home show there as well. And the home show has displays of how you can decorate your home. And so that's a really good one that I'm actually happy about. And that's this weekend. So I'll be door knocking this weekend in the Pleasanton and Dublin areas.
Absolutely love this. Absolutely love it. You guys imagine if you just did a aggregate, right? Let's call this an aggregate. Did an aggregate of 5 to 10 things that are happening for the fall season in your community, right? I met this family yesterday. They just got back from Apple Hill. They went up and enjoyed Apple Hill, and they said the ideal time to get to Apple Hill was right at 9:30 because right around 11:30, the mass amounts of people had came. But just imagine if you aggregate 5 to 10 things, you put that in your mailer, an 8x5 jumbo postcard, and you put that out to your community that you farm or that you want to serve in the future. And on that QR code, a list of all the things that you just talked about. And where does that QR code go? It just goes to a high note. And in the high note, list all the things that are going on in the local community. And now you're an advocate. And also enter to win my raffle. How do you enter to win the raffle? Here's simple instructions. Also, tag a friend. When are we announcing the winners? We're announcing the winners on October 27th. Wonderful, right? Like, that's a resource. It had nothing to do with real estate and everything about lead capture. And that's what the opportunity. So when we think about all these events, it's like, can I serve? Can I educate? Can I inform? And can I harvest leads this time of year? You guys, you're walking into some of the best times of the year to harvest leads. Halloween, fall season, autumn, you have Thanksgiving, the month of gratitude for November. Then you have Christmas, you have New Year, you have Hanukkah, you have Kwanzaa, you have all these things that give you an opportunity to reach out, not just sold, just pending, coming soon. You have all these other reasons to show how human of a person you are. That shit sells, you guys, if done properly. Let's go, Sammy. Let's hear from you. And then we're going to shift the conversation.
So what I do when I door knock is, on the front flyer, obviously I do a buy or sell, right? And on the back, I add the community events, and it's more eye-catching to them because I just try to find a way so they don't throw me away where there's value to my flyer. So like, for example, since I'm joining the intensity group again for the 3rd time, I plan to add the community events in Manteca. So this week I'm actually going to door knock on Thursday because we have the first weekend of the pumpkin patch going on in Manteca. Just so people are aware, because at least in my neighborhood, there's new neighbors. So I just want to make sure they're informed and being involved with the community. And as far as Halloween Day, my church will be hosting a trunk or treat. So I'll also be adding that on there just to create value.
I love it. And shout out to you for entering the 3rd round of intensity. And shout out, last week we talked about, I think it was on Friday, that day, I think I had like 20 more signups for intensity. I think the number is right around 32. So if you have not signed up for intensity, let me do a quick plug for that. We're doing one more final session. It starts on October 6th, this Friday, hosted by me. I have 2 co-hosts. It's going to be Vernon Williams as well as Vanessa Vo. We're going to go full tilt for 4 weeks. I'm going to be gone for 2 of those weeks. And so I'm leveraging the help and support of 2 amazing people that have actually been through the program. So if you're looking at leveling up, taking your business to new heights and raising the intensity in your business, that's a session that you want to tune into. If your business is not where you want it to be or where you feel it deserves to be, then give it that boost. Give it that boost and join intensity. And if you're not joining because you're fearful, because you are just a little trepidatious, I want to encourage you to take that step. If that's something that is standing in your way, like fear, take that step, get in that program, and let's do this together. So you guys, I wanted to ask you a question, and this is a real question. You don't have to answer it here, but I want you to get introspective. And I'm going to close out our session with this for the last few minutes. I want you to ask yourself, and I think this is a really powerful question. I want you to ask yourself, am I the stumbling block in my business? And let me elaborate on this. Am I the stumbling block in my business? I have set a vision for myself. I have casted a very wide net about what I want to accomplish in this business. I am aware of my strengths, my talents, my abilities. I'm aware of my own tenacious spirit. I'm conscious about who I am. I'm conscious about how emotionally aware I am. I'm conscious about how direct that I can be and how that serves me at a very high level because I don't beat around the bush. I'm super conscious of the human being that I am. So ask yourself, am I the stumbling block in my business? Because knowing that about myself, knowing the clarity that I have about who I am, oftentimes what happens is that we stand in our own way. And how do we do this? We stand in our own way because we allow ourselves not to have systems in place that support who we are and what we are becoming. We allow ourselves to be distracted. We allow ourselves not to have operational efficiencies that are going to support our business. We allow our own thoughts or our own imposter syndromes to stand in the way of our development. So you have to ask yourself, am I the stumbling block in my business? And if I am, and if I know that and I identify that and I could consciously say, yes, I am, then you need to do something about it. You need to do something about it or run for the hills and don't be in this business. Because if you are the main problem in your business and you're unwilling because you're so damn stubborn to get out of your way so you can actually grow and succeed and make some money in this game, then leave the game. Because if you cannot overcome yourself, no coach, no person, no accountability person is going to help you overcome that. You have to dig within and find out, am I the person that is the stumbling block in my business? You have to ask yourself, is my business solely ran on my personality? And it's okay because you guys are all individuals, but your personality will only get your business so far, right? Your spirit will only get your business so far. If that personality and that Dominique, if that Kyle, if that Vernon, if that Demeen, if that Blessing, if that JJ is the only thing that is holding your business together, what happens is that you don't have these systems that will help your business grow. And if you're just running your business off of sheer energy and personality, that is a business that is not designed for success. A business has to be scalable. It has to be replicatable, has to be replicatable. You have to look at yourself and say, okay, I know that I am the founding father of my own business, the founding mother of my own business, but is it just personality or do I actually have things that support? Do I have a newsletter? Do I have a cadence? Do I have my CRM? Do I have a flow? Do I have a system for my follow-ups for my DMs? Do I have a cadence for my content strategy? Do I have a cadence for how many stories I'm creating every day? How many times I'm sliding in DMs? Do I have a campaign that is set up for October, for November, for December, for the new year? Am I clear? Because now you have systems in place that support that personality, that person, that vision, that cause, that crusade. Well, if it is just me and Elias's energy, and I say, let's always keep it moving, and there's nothing that supports keep it moving, you guys, then it can be gone in an instant. So what I want to encourage you guys to do is look at yourself and say, am I the stumbling block in my business? It can be good, bad, it could be indifferent. What you have to do is you have to make sure that you are doing everything to say, you know what, my personality is what people see, but behind the scenes is this amazing run business. I have systems, I have processes, I have accounting, I have budgets. Everything is ran that can scale this business. So down the road, when you have a buyer's agent, when you have a listing agent, when you have a coordinator, when you have your own TC, they are able to propel the voice of the company that you have built without you having to be in every single transaction. That's what leverage is. That's what leverage in your business is being able to take the vision that you had, that was a singular vision, and now that vision becomes a universal vision. That's how this company was built, and that's how I want you guys to build your organizations moving forward. So if you are identifying that you're the stumbling block in your own business, then do things to change that. And if the biggest stumbling block in your business is the way that you run it on the back end, your systems, your procedures, your operational efficiencies, then those are the things that you need to go in and fix. It's 2023. It's the end of the year. If you guys don't have your systems in place, if you're still making excuses about, oh yeah, I should probably use my CRM. If you don't even have a basic fucking Trello board to keep your thoughts in organization, then what are you doing? I want you to make sure if you're the main thing as the stumbling block in your own business, then what are you going to do about it, right? A business is talking about scale. If you say that you want to sell 50 homes next year and you have this personality and you're vivacious and you got this spirit, but behind you is fucking Oz and you just pull the curtain back and there's nothing supporting this great old powerful Oz, what do you actually have? So I want to ask you, and I want you to be clear with this question. Are you the stumbling block in your business? And if so, what are you going to do about it? You have to create a system of processes to grow, and it must transform from being a personality to a process-driven organization. It must transform from being a personality to a process-driven organization. And I say this with as much energy and as much compassion and as much aggression as I can possibly muster. You guys have to look at your business and say, if my personality is the only thing that is driving this and I have nothing supporting this, then I don't have that strong of a business. I don't have that strong of a business. But if I have my systems in place, if I have my flow in place, if I have my cadence in place, and if I know exactly what's happening in my business month in and month out, that's scalable. That's scalable. What I want for you guys in 2023 or 2024 is I want the life that you've always dreamed of. And oftentimes when we think about the life, the things that we want, the opportunities that we want to provide for ourselves and for our family, oftentimes it rests in choices. And those choices are either going to serve you or they're not going to serve you. If I choose not to work out every single day, I'm probably not going to live the life that I want. If I choose to not make my calls, choose not to get organized, choose to not go to the conference, choose to not to implement the things that I've learned, then that's a choice. So you guys, what separates successful people and non-successful people is making a series of choices that are going to compound and compound and compound and compound. You guys have some choices. Are you going to set some things up? Or are you just going to continue to come to these sessions and say, oh, I need to work on my systems. I need to get on camera. Well, what are you waiting for? When there's people that are smoking you right now that have been in the business for 6 months and they're smoking you, and they're smoking you because they took action. This is all about choices, you guys. So I want to make sure that we're clear before we head out today. I want to go around the room, get a couple key takeaways. Let's go, JJ. Let's go, Blessing. I want to hear from you guys, and then I'm going to call on a couple other people as we close out the session today. JJ, what's good, big guy?
So like 2006, I ran my own office, and I had a bunch of young realtors, and I had a dude who came from tech, super smart. I figured he was going to be gangbusters, and I had a dude who used to lay carpet, and he was very, very simple, and he worked really, really hard. The dude who laid carpet had no ego, had no idea what he was doing, and he did exactly what I told him to do. By the end of the second year, he owned 6 properties and was making like 200 grand. By the end of the second year, the other guy became my assistant, and I think I paid him like 60 a year. So,
wow.
And if I would have put money, I would have thought the intelligent, well-prepared guy, but he just was scared. He overanalyzed. He knew a bunch of things that I didn't know, and he explained them to me, but none of it was effective. And the guy who laid carpet said, okay, that's what you want me to do. That's what he did. He sat inside of a hotel room away from his family to study twice a week because he could not focus enough. He just didn't have the capacity, I guess, to do it any other way. So he literally would go get a hotel twice a week and study for his exam, passed it the first time. And I think right now he retired and moved to Mexico already, but he has like 20 properties. So super simple dude. He didn't mess around. Whatever you told him to do is what he did. Kicked my ass, man. He was so disciplined. He whipped my ass. He was, to understand stuff, he wasn't better than me, but to the process, smoked me, dude. Like he smoked me. Just simple, man. Just keep it simple.
I love it. I love it. You guys go lay some carpet. Seriously, if that's an analogy for the day, go lay some carpet. I love it. Blessing, let's hear from you, and then we hear from 2 other people. Key takeaways from our time together today. Blessing, let's go.
This morning during my mindset mastermind class, I challenged each person in the group to hold a mirror up to themselves and ask, are you really being honest with where you are with your business? Are you honest about where you're trying to go? So it's always wonderful when a conversation I have in the beginning of the day shows up here, and I can just anticipate it showing up later. But it stemmed from me being honest about whether or not I can actually be the director with my son's basketball league. I don't understand the game, but just because I don't understand the game doesn't mean I can't create the process and be disciplined to be better in that space. So we do have to be honest about where we are. And part of that conversation also talked about 75 harding the business. The quote that came away from that is that if you look at 75 hard, or if you look at this business, within a week, you'll figure out, are you interested in being in real estate, or are you committed? Because if you're interested, you're only going to last about a week and a half. If you're committed, you can go 30 days without having to, really dig into your plan. But being truly, truly honest with yourself in the business you're trying to build, is that you have to start there, because not only your clients see it, your peers will see it, but you'll feel like a fraud just because you're just coasting along with no energy and passion. You're just taking up space. So truly looking at yourself, and whatever the answer is, you just have to be honest. If you're made for this business, it'll show up. If you're not, it'll show up. So the only person that you're fooling is yourself. And I've been holding that mirror up to myself, and in true keep it moving fashion, I just was called out on some things that I need to work on and be honest that I've been struggling with. So I always appreciate the honesty of these conversations.
Wow. I don't know about you guys, but I truly, truly connect with that. I just wrote a note here and it said, for a sticky note, it says operate in truths. And I think that if you guys all put a sticky note, post it on your computer, somewhere that you're going to see it all, operate in truths. Anytime that you're trying to do something that deviates from that, you should be conscious about that, right? Conscious about that. It's like, that's something that when you are being a liar to yourself, right? You feel that, and it fucks with your esteem, right? The public, the people, Instagram may not see that, but what's behind the scenes is that you feel like you're lying to yourself. And that in itself is going to hurt you. So if you're not operating in truth, then you need to make sure that you are getting in alignment with everything, and be real with yourself. If you're not doing the things, if you're not showing up, like, okay, like, all right, like, I respect that. Be real with yourself. But what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Are you going to fix it? Or are you just going to move on and say, you know what, I'm just going to go about this and say I'm a realtor, but you're not actually doing shit? Let's see, guys, you have some choices this week. So I went a minute over, but I want to thank you for all of your contributions today. Thank you for your insight. Thank you for raising your hand, getting involved. Sorry if there was hands up that I was not able to get to. We'll get to them on Wednesday. But you guys have an amazing week. Make this a week to count. As always, keep it moving towards your dreams, goals, and vision, and have an amazing, amazing week, and move your needle. Peace.
Peace.